My name is Amelia Bose, and I did How Depression Can Affect Your Physical Health as my research topic. The reason I chose this topic is because looking back at when I had depression, it was one of the lowest points in my life, and my physical health was not the best. Same goes for now. Since my mental health is a lot better, I have noticed that my physical health is getting better as well. I know there's a connection between the two, and I would like to learn more about how and why they are connected. And I've noticed that I have a lot more energy and a clearer mindset. I think this topic is also important to me because I watched my sister go through depression and saw what it did to her physical health. I watched how she was a lot more sick, how she didn't eat as much, and just the life kind of draining out of her. It was hard to watch, but she is a lot better now, and she isn't as sick as often, and she's eating regularly. And then I saw a lot of changes happen to her through this period, and the same probably could have been seen when I went through depression. And then next is why this topic is important. I think this topic is important because people should know what depression is and how to get help if they need it. This topic is important because lots of people don't realize how depression can affect someone's body and not just how it affects their mind. So there's a lot more that goes on than just the mindset of depression. Some of the main points I'm going to go over in this presentation is knowing how to identify depression and depression basics, so what depression is, how a person's health is affected by depression, and how it's affected when the person isn't depressed, looking into activity levels on how much energy a person has compared to someone who is depressed. A person's appetite will be included, and comparing how often somebody is sick when they are depressed to someone without depression. What is the definition of depression? Depression is classified as a common but serious mood disorder. It causes severe symptoms that affect how a person feels, thinks, and handles daily activities, such as sleeping, eating, or working. Different depressions are caused by different things. Everyone can be affected by depression. More women have been diagnosed with depression than men because men are less likely to recognize it and seek help for it. To be diagnosed with depression, the symptoms must be present for at least 2 weeks. And on this chart, it looks like it is more common for 16 to 21-year-olds to have depression than someone in the age group of 22 plus. Some signs of depression would be someone feeling sad, anxious, or just in an empty mood. The feeling of guilt, worthlessness, or helplessness. Loss of interest in hobbies that the person once enjoyed. Lack of energy or feeling slowed down. The difficulty of concentrating or remembering things can be seen a lot in depression. Difficulty sleeping or oversleeping can be seen as well. And then changes in appetite, so overeating, undereating, or just not eating at all are a big problem with depression. Physical pain can also be seen when depression is there. And then not everyone who is depressed experiences all of these symptoms. Some people experience only a few symptoms, while others experience many. Depression can also involve other changes in mood or behavior. Symptoms associated with depression interfere with day-to-day functioning and cause significant distress for the person experiencing them. How can being active help? So physical activity is one of the most important things a person can do to feel better when depressed. When somebody is depressed, they might not feel like they have the energy to do anything. but physical activity has been proven to help with your mental health. In this case study called Exercise for Depression, they do an experiment where they study the effectiveness of exercise as a treatment for depression. It was in randomized control trials with people who were over 18 and they were diagnosed with depression. Part of the participants had no medical treatment and no exercise, and they were used as a control group. And then another part of the participants had no medical treatment, but had exercise as their treatment to help their depression. After the trial had ended, they compared the exercise with the control group, and it seemed like exercise had a moderate clinical effect in helping people feel better with their depression. And then I have this chart of people who experience happiness and stress while exercising for 30 minutes a day throughout 7 days. As we can see, people's happiness went up and their stress levels went down each day they exercised. So on day 0, the happiness was at 84% and their stress levels were up to 39%. And then by day 7, their happiness levels went up to 90% while their stress levels went down to 31%. How does depression affect someone's appetite? So depression can affect the way we eat food. One of the ways it affects our relationship with food would be the unhealthy routines we make when we're eating. Some people with depression will overeat, while others might undereat. One person might go without food for days because of their depression, or not eat enough when they finally do eat something. Other people might eat too much food or overfeed themselves to the point where they are uncomfortably full. And then after they finish eating, they might feel guilty about what they ate and throw up because of the guilt. Someone who does not have depression would normally eat until they are full and then stop eating, and they don't have the urge to eat everything in sight. Lastly, they don't need to feel guilty about what they ate after they finish eating. And then I have this slide called sickness or depression. So depression can impact your immune system, making you more prone to getting sick. When you're depressed, you might feel sick just from being depressed, but depression will also let down your immune system, which your immune system would help fight against viruses and other bad things in your body. When your body doesn't fight for your health, you are more likely to become physically sick. And then also when your immune system is down, you are more likely to attract heart disease, cancer, and other viruses. The impact this has had on my lifestyle and influenced me is depression has been a big impact on my life as well as my family's life. I've seen the ups and downs of it all, and I've been through it, and my sister has been through it, as well as other family members of my family. One thing that has helped us to go through all this would be the support that we give each other through thick and thin. It has been challenging, but as long as you know everything will be okay in the end, you can make it through your depression. Then one of my last slides here is going to be where you can access help. Just remember that you are never alone in this, and if you need someone to talk to, help is always available. You can text or call the crisis lifeline, the suicide hotline, and then you can also call the National Help Hotline. And then my last slide here is all of my citations that I have used for this presentation. And again, this was my presentation on how mental health or depression can affect your physical health.